evening, RENEWS English section is on air. I am Sona Tumanyan. Join us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and X. Get your portion of information from our official website, recipient.media. France reports Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei said his country will not accept U.S. President Donald Trump's call for an unconditional surrender in a statement read by a television presenter on Wednesday. He also warned the U.S. of irreparable damage if it intervenes in the Israel-Iran war, which entered its sixth day.
I say to our dear nation, always keep this noble verse in mind. Life, praise be to God, is proceeding normally. Do not let the enemy feel that you are afraid of him, that you feel weak. If the enemy senses that you fear him, he will never let you go. Continue with strength the same conduct you have maintained to this day. Those who are responsible for public services, those who interact with the people, those who are in charge of promotional and explanatory affairs, they should carry out their work with strength, continue to do so, and place their trust in God Almighty.
The standoff between Israel and Iran is intensifying, with both sides deploying more advanced military technology. Overnight, Iran reportedly launched hypersonic Fatah-1 missiles toward Israeli targets, while Israel responded with a wave of airstrikes on Iranian military and nuclear sites near Tehran, Isfahan, and Natanz. According to Iranian media, an Israeli Hermes 900 drone was shot down in the city of Isfahan. Israel claims to have destroyed key Iranian missile systems, while Iran retaliated with a strike on Israel's Mir Air Base, which housed American-made THAAD missile defense systems.
Despite calls from around the world for peace and a ceasefire, the intensity of missile strikes between Iran and Israel only increases daily. Iran has struck Jerusalem and several other major targets, announcing that these strikes were among the most powerful and large-scale attacks of recent days. In the last few hours, the Israeli Air Force has once again struck Tehran. The Israeli side opened fire on a crowd in Gaza, attempting to receive aid from trucks, resulting in at least 59 deaths and 221 injuries, according to doctors, Reuters reports. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, has announced that Iran sent a message to the United States by striking Israeli targets with new advanced missiles, reports the IRNA news agency. It is noted that first-generation models of the Fatah missiles were used in the latest strikes, which have repeatedly overcome Israel's anti-missile defense systems and conveyed a message of Iran's power to Tel Aviv's warmongering ally, which lives in delusional wishes. Tonight's missile strike demonstrated that we have complete control over the airspace of the occupied territories, whose residents are entirely defenseless against Iran's missile strikes, the IRGC declared. The day before, the U.S. president sharply intensified his rhetoric against Iran's supreme leader, stating on a social network that America knows his current location, but will not kill him for now. Parallel to the Iran-Israel missile exchange, the U.S. president is posting new messages on his X page with rocket-like speed. Trump gave Iran 24 hours to renounce its missile and nuclear programs and to surrender. He then wrote that the United States has complete control over Iran's airspace. According to the New York Times, American forces throughout the region have been placed on high alert out of fear that the conflict could escalate into a wider war. American officials have expressed the view that in the event of an attack, Iran could mine the Strait of Hormuz to block U.S. warships in the Persian Gulf.
Thousands of people were fleeing Tehran and other major cities, Iranian media reported, as ABC News reports that the next 24 to 48 hours are crucial in determining whether the United States and Iran will resolve their escalating tensions through diplomatic means or escalate to military action. President Donald Trump has demanded Iran's unconditional surrender and is considering military options, including potential strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities. This comes amid Israeli airstrikes on Tehran and Iranian missile attacks on Israel. Despite U.S. intelligence assessments suggesting Iran is not imminently developing nuclear weapons, the situation remains volatile. Senator Tim Kaine has introduced the War Powers Resolution to restrict direct military action without congressional approval. On June 18, President Trump took to social media with a series of posts intensifying his stance. In one tweet, he demanded Iran must surrender unconditionally or face total destruction. He warned that the U.S. will no longer tolerate Iranian aggression and will take decisive action to protect our interests and allies. Trump also urged the international community to stand united against Tehran's provocations. German Chancellor Merz has openly acknowledged Israel's role in the ongoing Middle East conflict, stating that Israel is carrying out the dirty work on our behalf. He considered the Iranian regime, describing it as one that has brought death and destruction to the world through terrorist attacks, killings, and bloodshed, while providing support to groups like Hezbollah and Hamas. Merz emphasized that the deadly events of October 7 would never have happened without the Tehran regime. He remarked, underscored Germany's firm stance against Iran's influence in the region amid escalating violence. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz described ongoing airstrikes in Tehran as a tornado, hitting symbols of power, including the Broadcasting Authority building, forcing residents to flee. The attacks are part of Israel's escalating operations targeting key Iranian military and nuclear sites. Iran condemned the strikes and vowed retaliation. Tensions in the region remain high, with no clear sign of de-escalation, and international concern grows. The U.S. Navy's Korea Strike Group, led by the nuclear-powered aircraft carrier USS Nimitz, is en route to the Middle East earlier than planned, departing from the South China Sea, according to Fox News, citing a U.S. official. The USS Nimitz left the South China Sea on the morning of June 16 and is heading west toward the Arabian Sea. Originally, the Nimitz Strike Group was scheduled to relieve the USS Carl Winston Carrier Strike Group, which has been deployed in the region for several months. However, the early arrival of the Nimitz means that both Korea strike groups will be present in the Middle East simultaneously, signaling a significant boost in U.S. naval presence amid rising regional tensions. Israel's military Tzahal has released dramatic footage showing over 50 fighter jets taking part in overnight airstrikes on Iranian facilities linked to uranium enrichment. According to military sources, the targets included 30 huge production sites believed to be central to Iran's nuclear program. The operation marks one of the largest coordinated aerial assaults in recent years, underscoring escalating tensions between the two regional powers. Iranian state media has aired a video showing what appears to be a miniature nuclear warhead labeled with the word possible. The footage, broadcast amid growing regional tensions, has sparked fresh concerns about Tehran's nuclear ambitions. The video comes at a time when Iran is under international scrutiny for its advanced uranium enrichment and missile programs, while Iranian officials insist their nuclear efforts are for peaceful purpose. This display has raised red flags in the West. Experts warn that if Iran decides to pursue a nuclear weapon, it could do so with a short time frame. The release adds pressure on world powers to respond as tensions between Iran and Israel continue to escalate. Is all fair in love and war? Deadly aid chaos in Gaza raises alarming questions. In a harrowing incident in Gaza, at least 144 people were killed and 560 injured after Israeli forces opened fire on a crowd trying to access humanitarian aid, according to local medical officials. Since Israel broke a truce agreed with Hamas in March, at least 5,334 Palestinians have been killed and more than 17,800 have been wounded. Israel is once again preventing international and UN organizations from accessing fuel storage sites designated for hospitals, claiming they are located in red zones, the ministry said, adding that available fuel supplies in hospitals are sufficient for 3 days. The Israeli military confirmed that its forces fired at a scene, stating the incident is under investigation. Eyewitnesses told Reuters that Israeli tanks launched at least 2 shells toward thousands of people gathered along a key road in Khan Yunis, hoping to receive aid from passing convoys. With wars erupting across multiple fronts and audiences consuming news at a relentless pace, the conditions are ripe for fake news to spread and thrive. In an age where media illiteracy remains widespread, false narratives easily take root. Fact-checking, tracing sources, those often take a backseat in a world where speed trumps accuracy. As misinformation flows freely, it becomes a powerful tool capable of shaping public opinion, manipulating large groups, and flipping realities upside down. And now artificial intelligence is joining the equation. While not yet smarter than humans, AI is proving to be a potent ally in the spread of disinformation. The result? A new era of digital deception where fake news isn't just a threat, it's a weapon.
During the Israeli-Iranian conflict, the role of systems using artificial intelligence increased dramatically, not only in terms of the morale and psychological stability within the societies of the conflicting parties and the sentiments of the international community following the events, but also in the actual military operations. In particular, Israel's Iron Dome anti-missile defense system uses AI algorithms to quickly calculate the trajectory of incoming missiles and UAVs and to predict the threat they pose. This allowed for the real-time, high-efficiency interception of a significant portion of the missiles and unmanned aerial vehicles launched from Iran. Analyses show that models enhanced by machine learning were able to predict the flight paths of the drones, increasing the interception efficiency from 85% to 96%. Mossad had previously secretly smuggled in and deployed swarms of strike UAVs inside Iran, which struck Iranian missile sites near Tehran. A similar operation was also recently carried out by Ukraine. Such a tactic was most likely carried out with the help of AI in order to coordinate a simultaneous multi-target attack. On the information front, both sides actively used AI-based technologies to sway public opinion in their favor and to disrupt the opponent's information operations. The Israel Defense Forces used real-time AI translation tools to convey their messages to Persian-speaking and Arabic-speaking audiences within minutes. How to distinguish AI-generated videos from real ones and avoid information traps.
The only advice I can give is, the most important thing is to look at where you're getting any material from. If it's a reputable source, a major media outlet, then you can be sure that it's authentic. As for what's being spread on Telegram or social media, I would advise you not to pay attention to it. And in general, this is increasingly going to be the case.
Specifically, the authenticity of a call for the evacuation of Tel Aviv has not been confirmed. A statement is actively circulating online. We call on the residents of Tel Aviv to immediately leave the city. It is being attributed to the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. There is no information about such a call in official sources. However, the news is being actively disseminated by countless media outlets. The Israeli-Iranian clash was also accompanied by a torrent of disinformation on social media, a significant portion of which was created using AI. A number of analyses confirmed that with the escalation of the Iran-Israel conflict, numerous fake photos and videos were spread in the digital domain. Some generated by artificial intelligence, while others were chronologically inaccurate. Experts are urging people to verify information, noting that there are several points to pay attention to.
AI-generated content always has a specific characteristic in its movement. Pay attention to how it moves. If the movement is a bit like computer graphics or more like a video game, that can serve as proof that it's generated. And the third thing is the quality. As a rule, the quality isn't very good. This is also done intentionally so that you can't see the details clearly. But then again, I should also say, if you want to make it so it's indistinguishable, there are tools that improve the quality and make it difficult to detect.
The 2025 clashes highlighted the importance of artificial intelligence in modern hybrid conflicts. In the information sphere, artificial intelligence deepened the information crisis, making it more difficult to uncover the truth. Such methods show that AI is a tool not only for military but also for psychological warfare, and its influence will continue to grow steadily.
The European Union will permanently end its reliance on Russian gas by 2025, EU Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas announced. Speaking on energy security, Kallas said the move is aimed at preventing Moscow from using energy as a weapon against Europe. "We are shutting off the tap for good," she stated, highlighting the EU's commitment to breaking free for Russian energy dependence. As global tensions rise amid the Israel-Iran conflict, Russia has launched one of its largest overnight assaults on Ukraine in months. At least 21 people were killed and over 200 injured as Kyiv and Zaporozhye came under heavy fire. Ukraine reports 440 drones, 20 cruise missiles, 2 ballistic and 9 guided missiles were launched with Kyiv as the main target. In Zaporozhye, Iranian-made shaded drones triggered 3 major fires, destroying warehouses and vehicles. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, speaking for the G7 summit in Canada, called the attacks terrorism and urged the international community to act. Meanwhile, Russia claimed it intercepted nearly 200 Ukrainian drones and closed several airports due to the escalating threat. The Nagorno-Karabakh National Assembly has issued a statement announcing that it will neither nominate nor elect a presidential candidate at this time. The announcement cited the ongoing situation created by Azerbaijan's aggression and forced displacement, the positions adopted by the Armenian government, and the prevailing security environment in the region as key reasons for the decision. This is due to the situation caused by Azerbaijan's aggression and forced displacement, the stance adopted by the Armenian authorities, and the security environment in the region, the statement reads. While Azerbaijan waves a false white flag of peace on the international stage, a sham trial against Ruben Vartanyan, the former prime minister of Nagorno-Karabakh, continues in Baku. According to Azerbaijani media reports, a number of so-called victims have provided testimonies. Before the start of the questioning, Judge Zeynal Aghayev explained the rights of the victims and their heirs. Several heirs have recounted the deaths of their sons or other relatives in places like Berdzor, Kharvajar, and other areas. But don't search for any logical connection, dear listeners, because there are none. The next theatrical episode of this staged trial is set for June 25. For more updates, follow us on YouTube, Telegram, Instagram, X, Facebook. Daily news and full coverage are available on our official website. I'm Sona Tumanyan. Stay informed with us. Good night.